Okay, it's the 90s, so we gotta come up with some crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff you show to your friends, they go, "Wow! You're so cool! That's so rad, bro! Hell yeah!" You know what I mean? Fucking Dr. Pepper type shit, you know? We gotta make a good new video game. Come on, that's cool. How do we do that? 3D. What? 3 dimension! The 90s were the year of innovation. So many different events took place that shook up society from its core, and times in life was changing. Or so I was told. I don't know, I wasn't born back then. But what about video games? How do we do all that? And how do we make that cool? Mario 64. I mean, come on now, I don't have to explain myself here. You go play the game now and the game still plays as effortlessly as it did 20 years ago. Or so I was told, I wasn't born 20 years ago. Still, Mario 64 was not the next step for Mario. It was the next step for gaming, for controls, for 3D environments. I mean, who knows, maybe Mario wasn't the first one to do it. I mean, I did hear about Sonic having a 3D game before Mario. Maybe that's the true underground sleeper everyone forgot about. No, it's not. Mario 64 is the most visually appealing, iconic video game of all time. I mean, come on, there's stuff from this game that is just forever etched into my brain, like the castle theme or the slide level music. Mario controls almost as if it was an extension of your own body. 20 years later, Mario just glides, slides, and jump across the map so stylishly. To say the gameplay of this game has aged well is an understatement. It only personally gets better to me each year. Mario in this game feels free as a butterfly. And that's the point of the entire game. Freedom. The player is never locked to doing something they don't like. There are hundreds of ways to approach a level, each designed with such care and effort as to make them both amusing to a newcomer and a veteran. You don't want to do this star right now? Okay, go find a slide and finish it in under 21 seconds, and boom, that's a star. Good job. The castle feels free. Mario feels free. The massive silent environment at the start of the game is free. It just gives you time to figure out stuff on their own. There's just not a single moment where this game doesn't feel like it was mathematically calculated to be fun. This game is pure, unfiltered art based solely on its gameplay. And I'm not even talking about the whole package here. It really paved the way for what the future of good video games should look like. There is not a single game with more identity, more soul put into it than Mario 64. It's a fucking masterpiece. So naturally, developers tried finding a way to be Mario 64. They tried being as good as it. They tried to make good video games with a genuine passion for this new and unexplored area of 3D gaming. But none could even scratch Mario 64, which is why the only one who can surpass Mario 64 is Nintendo themselves. And hell, they came close, but even they failed. What a marvel of a video game. Wait, why did the successor fail to overcome it again? I wouldn't exactly say fail as much as say that it was impossible in the first place. You just don't get that good. But holy shit, Nintendo was very close with Sunshine. And hell, if the game wasn't rushed to oblivion, then maybe we should be living in a world where Sunshine is universally seen as a better game than 64. And I think that I get why some people believe it truly is better. Mario Sunshine saw how Mario moved on the Nintendo 64 and went, nah. Let's do it better than that. The reason I love this game so much is that freedom of movement from 64 was amplified to a million. Seriously, adding the flood made you move like butter. There were so many different ways to approach a level in 64. If 64 had about 10,000 ways to approach a level, Sunshine has a million, and that's based purely on the movement. I mean, rocket nozzle, turbo nozzle, hell, your default nozzle can do a million things. You have a fucking jetpack. It's such a refreshing experience each time you go play this game and you find a new way to approach a situation or make a certain jump. Unfortunately, it seems they only had enough freedom to put into the movement, because in this game, you certainly don't have that overarching sense of freedom like you did in 64. You can't pick which level you want to do. To progress, you have to collect 7 shines in one level to proceed to the next one, so if you get stuck on one you don't like, you can't go and do it later, you simply have to do it. But even so, that doesn't seem much of a problem when you see what the type of world you'll be exploring. This summer paradise is so full of secrets, of life, of energy, and that comes from someone who despises summer and warm weather. I mean, come on. Delfino Plaza is one of the coolest hub worlds ever, and aside from that, these levels are endlessly cool. I mean, most platformers you play will have you, like, I don't know, explore 5 biomes and that's about it, even the good ones. I mean, sure, that's cool, but you've seen it a million times. Mario Sunshine goes, hey, what if you explore a bay, filled with fucking ancient contraptions, or construction beams on a dock, a lunar park, beach hotel, fucking windmills. I mean, come on, this game always pumps something new with its environments. It makes the atmosphere of this game flawless. So much soul, so much identity and love put into these levels. Sure, there are absolutely broken levels. The fucking Pianta level, oh my fucking god. I don't know who designed that, but I hope he got fired. Or the level where you have to ride a boat through lava, like who the fuck thought of this? But keep in mind, this game was rushed. Yeah, if it can reach this level of greatness, even when rushed, then we can only imagine the heights this game would have reached if it was given the proper time to be worked on. Masterpiece. But where do you go from there? How do you keep on improving the formula after such a phenomenal game while still keeping it original? It was an interesting question posed right as we were entering the new generation of gaming, and with the release of Wii, Nintendo figured it out. You don't. With the Super Mario Galaxy games, Nintendo took a different approach to Mario. You no longer had that freedom of movement. Sure, most moves are still there, but most of the time they're there just for them to be in the game and not be used all the time. You only move in 8 directions instead of all of them, and all this seems bad, but it was a necessary sacrifice. What Sunshine did incredibly well was its levels. They were creative without really telling you, hey, you have to do this level like we intended you to do. In Mario Galaxy, it's very clear that Nintendo was onto something here. Sure, you don't have that freedom you had in the first 2 games, but the focus is obviously shifted here. It's no longer to the player to make use of the level given to them, it's the game that crafts the path for him. And while that sounds bad, it certainly isn't. I mean, this is Nintendo we're talking about. It's endless creativity. Because of this approach, the game can introduce new ideas very quickly without making ideas age, so they can reuse them and revamp them in future levels. And oh boy, they do not stop with pumping these ideas. This game will never sit in one place. There will always be something new happening, a new idea to play around with. They saw Sunshine's levels and were like, okay, they were environmentally unique, so what we're going to do now is build the fucking space and make the best levels known to man. I mean, seriously, traveling to these planets, galaxies, and planetoids never gets old. You jump far enough, you'll be entering another planet's orbit. You might be traveling in 3D, then all of a sudden you enter a hole, and now it's a 2D game. You got the coolest fucking power-ups of all time. Tell me Bee or Cloud Mario aren't the coolest fucking shit of all time. Come on, man. It's something new each fucking level. You forget that you don't have that freedom anymore because, to be fair, you don't need it when the level offers you so much variety, so much different ideas that you are left in awe at how these people keep pulling ideas out, and you question if they ever run out. The answer is no, they don't. The first game had some gimmicks that ruined the experience, mainly the comments and all that, so what Nintendo did was, release Galaxy 2, or as I like to call it, Galaxy 1 expansion pack. It fixed all the small mistakes the first game had with one simple solution. Yoshi. Just kidding, but it's not only sharpening the formula, but straight up improving it. New ideas, new power-ups popping left and right. It's such a refreshing experience from start to finish, both games. Not to mention Galaxy 1 had this interesting premise for Mario standards that for some reason has stuck with me for so long. But the music... oh my god! It is the best work Nintendo has done with music. You got the Common Observatory, this calm music box theme, but then oops, it isn't. You find out it builds up the more stuff you unlock and explore, and then you enter the first galaxy and it's like dun, 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 bow, wow, wow, wow. And like, oh my god, it's so good! And then you go to Gusty Garden and it's musical perfection. Bow, wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my fucking god! It's so good! Sorry. And to top it all off, in Galaxy, you have the sense of loneliness. And it's not something I would have ever expected to feel from one of these games, but it's there. You are almost completely alone in space. Sure, you're not alone if you count Rosalina or the Lumos in as your companions, but your friends are gone. You gotta find them, and it feels rather lonely at times being so desolate in space. And I think that feeling is best intensified when you reach the Crystal Cove Galaxy, easily my favorite level. Such a calm, melancholic tune to go with this calm, melancholic level. And with all this said, Super Mario Galaxy has this unshakable feeling while playing it. It has identity, stuff that makes you feel things while playing. And holy shit, it's a goddamn masterpiece. Well, okay, we're doing pretty good. What's next? Never mind. Well, anyway, 3D World is the next installment, trust me about that, in the series. And I'll preface this by saying that I don't care if you don't like this game. I always did, and I always will. To me, this is a much more laid-back approach to Mario. This game isn't trying to be the next 64, it isn't trying to be the next Galaxy, although it does take a lot from it. This game tries to celebrate Mario itself, and if Galaxy relied on levels and linearity to convey fun gameplay, then 3D World took that and skyrocketed that idea into fucking space. There are so many perfect levels in this game, a constant barrage of new and interesting ideas from level to level. There are many new power-ups, but in a game like this, seeing these classic power-ups come back feels so refreshing to me. There's so many different themed levels here, each with their own interesting gimmick or fun mechanic to experience. You might see these mechanics used again in some other levels, but they never feel old or lazy because the game always makes sure to innovate and put new interesting ideas to the mix. Usually with platformers like this, I don't remember the levels at all. It's surprising to me how many levels I remember from this game with either fond memory or bitterness from the failed attempts it took me to get there. The game looks fucking amazing. The art style is my personal favorite of any game, and this game is visually so appealing. And the soundtrack hits right up my alley. I mean, come on, the sweet jazz I love so much. You enter the game and it's like so endlessly good, man. Fuck! Mario has almost all the moves he had previously and some new ones, but then again, just like Galaxy, they're there more for novelty than anything else. But again, like Galaxy, it doesn't need the freedom of 64 to be fun. Galaxy walked so that 3D World could run, and run it did. To me, this game is a celebration of Mario himself, the devs taking all their favorite ideas throughout the years and putting them into this 2.5D perspective. It's such a nice experience seeing all these ideas and new ones put into this one awesome fucking video game. And as a celebration of Mario, it has its undeniable identity. Masterpiece. But to me, I see 3D World as testing the waters for what's to come, and what was next surely has to be one of the best games of all time. Super Mario Odyssey makes me feel the same way I felt hearing Tyler the Creator's Igor for the first time. It's seeing a man's complete work and efforts throughout the years culminate into this one record that truly blew me away, and seeing a man mature to create his true magnum opus. And Mario Odyssey is the culmination of everything Mario is about and always was for the past 20 or so years. It's such a phenomenal video game that words can't even begin to describe how much I truly love this game. It's the ultimate "the journey is more important than the destination" game. It gives you this premise in the Hat Kingdom, says fuck you, you get thrown into Dinosaur Land, find the ship, boom, go explore the world, you fucking dingus. It takes the winning element of every past game, amplifies it to 100, and then sprinkles in new ideas never seen before. It takes that freedom from 64 and tells you, hey, you know how there was 120 stars in 64? Well, you got 830 moons to find here, good luck! And you can tackle them in any order. In fact, there's so many of them you might miss one or two because you'll be lost in the sheer expanse of this world and its inhabitants. You are truly and utterly free in this game to tackle whatever you wish to tackle first, so long as you got enough moons to back it up. And if you're not a fucking moron, then you'll be collecting all the moons you can find and then some. Remember how I said Sunshine amplified 64's movement? Well, if Sunshine has a million ways to approach a level, this game has about a quadrillion. Seriously, there are an endless amount of ways to approach not only a level, but minute parkouring not leading to anywhere significant. It's such a fucking refreshing way to play this game, and not only does Mario have all the moves he's learned from the previous game, there's new ones like the rolling mechanic that says fuck you to Sonic, or the cap jump, which is, to be fair, the best move in the game. So many different ways to make one single jump. If Galaxy had interesting levels, then Mario Odyssey took that and said fuck you, explore the entire fucking kingdom with each having their own interesting gimmick or fun mechanics to play around. And all the favorite mechanics that we're seeing in 3D World are kept here. I wasn't joking when I said this is the culmination of everything Mario was and was trying to be for decades now. The incredibly designed world adds for a sense of world building not seen in other games. The soundtrack is fucking incredible for each and every kingdom. Such a span, such a variety between tracks. The capture mechanic is fucking amazing. Super Mario Odyssey is to me the ultimate Mario experience. It has soul, love, effort, and work put into it. It all culminates into its own identity. It's everything Mario's supposed to be and more, and seeing the celebration of the king himself leaves me with nothing to say but, what a fucking masterpiece. And with that, with the ultimate Mario experience, I'm not sure where this franchise can go, and will it continue? I mean, it certainly will, but will it be good? Will they keep setting new standards in gaming? And it leaves me rather melancholic thinking about the next step. Is this truly the end? Never mind. I'm keeping this short, as this is a short game, but I feel weird about Bowser's Fury. It's taking a new approach to things, as all these games are. This game is this weird-ass experience where you go around trying to find catch eyes and fight this giant fucking black Bowser, and that alone makes it such a cool premise for a Mario game. I fucking love that. But aside from that, let me just say this. I love the Sunshine references in these games. Nintendo seems to try and forget about the GameCube era, and Sunshine in particular, so seeing them remember that game exists is such a reward to us fans of the series. You know how Super Mario Odyssey was advertised as this open-world platformer? I mean, yeah, technically, it is an open-world platform in a way where you get this huge level and you can go anywhere you want in it, but that's really open-level platforming. Bowser's Fury is what I imagine Odyssey would look like. There's no boot outs after you collect a shine or unlock a new part of the map. You don't travel to levels through a menu. If you want to go somewhere in this game, you ride to it. You literally walk to the level you want to go to. This game is very short, 3 to 4 hours max, even for completionists, but I think it's just a playtest of the next big masterpiece cooking up at Nintendo. It's incredible just how much content, fun, and ideas are put into such a short experience. It really gives this game its own sense of identity. And with this game, my doubts were cleared. Nintendo will never run out of creativity, and if this is the future of Mario, then I'm confident Mario's gonna strive for years to come. Now, throughout this video, you may have noticed I've mentioned the word identity a lot while talking about these games respectively, and that's because all of these games have their own distinct identity, their own distinct way of playing and approaching various ideas and redefining what Mario truly is. Mario never stayed the same in these past 26 years. He always did something new, something innovative, something special. Not only does he shit on most AAA titles when a new game drops, it does it so by being different with each installment. Mario keeps on reinventing himself while most AAA studios play with fire once, and once they find something that sticks, they will milk that till it's fucking dead in the ground. Gaming is in a sad spot right now, and I wish things could improve, which is why when I see Mario, I see what video games should strive to be. They should always strive to be different, to improve, to play with new things and mechanics, to take their time making a good and consistent experience. Mario is what video games are to me. Endless possibility. He never stays static and prevents all and any stagnation. I'm truly blessed that I'm a Mario fan. All of us Mario fans are blessed to have found these games and that we are living in a world where these games exist. But in a way, it's also a curse, because the hardest part about being a Mario fan is waiting for a new game to come out.